turns his back and walks away.
So we're looking at it, or considering it, or referring it
The
to
government is withdrawn to man's side because they do not read the Constitution. There are limited, enumerated powers that Congress has. They are not abiding by them.
I should know. I would have a sign that says take our country back. That's what I want. I want to take our country back.
Absolutely.
They have destroyed the meaning of the Constitution.
Good, stranger. How are you?
Okay.
What's your name? Gerald. Gerald.
Ruining my time.
Pam. Okay. Yeah,
Coming Tuesday or the 11th?
Which Tuesday? The 11th? Oh yeah, absolutely.
Bel Air?
Absolutely.
Cool.
We chased him around back and talked to him.
Good for you. The video or is it?
Yeah, I'm recording.
If you live in the real world, where you watch
Oh, I can go back in and watch it.
you know that nothing can compete against an entity that doesn't have to make a profit. So they can do anything they want to, and when they bankrupt this program, like they bankrupted Social Security, like they bankrupted Medicare and Medicaid, they'll just simply turn on the government printing presses and print more money, which makes every dollar in your wallet worth less, every dollar in my wallet worth less. So I don't have to listen to that foolishness because I'm an adult.
Right.
And I've experienced things. I've lived a long time now, and I've seen how things have worked under government control, and they don't work well.
What do you think about Mr. Cradiville? I mean,
I'm not impressed. Not impressed at all.
have you seen the effigy, the noose? They're using him, the Democrats are using him in a commercial. He's kind of like a man between parties right now because both parties are angry.
They can play that game all they want to. I'm not concerned about party. I left the Republican Party after George W. Bush said read my lips. I did, and I remembered what I heard. And I'm not particularly impressed with either party, so they can play that game with me all they want to. I'm concerned about the country, the Constitution, and principles of government. And neither one of these parties want to pay much attention.
Let me get your... Let me get your... Yeah. What do you do here in Marshall? Absolutely.
Kingston.
Are you, what's your profession? Or are you working?
Medical technologist.
Okay.
Yeah, they're good.
Will this work? Yeah, it'll work. Just tell me if... actually, no, it won't.
Is that behind the back?
No, I'm Jeremy.
Tell me what you were saying about what concerns you about this. I mean, they're not reading the Constitution and how it applies to it.
From talking to Mr. Cradiville, my opinion of him is the same as most politicians. I think he has neither read the bill nor has he read the Constitution. Every time I ask Mr. Cradiville what section of the Constitution authorizes the federal government to fund such a program, to take taxpayer dollars to pay for it, he turns his back on it. He doesn't know the answer because it doesn't exist. As is the case of most bills in the Congress, they don't have the constitutional authority. We need to regain the authority of the United States Constitution and take control from politicians who just spend other people's money to buy votes. They don't understand the way the economy works. Same thing with cash for plumbers. The economy is people earning money and then spending that money for goods and services that other people have to offer in order to satisfy their own personal needs. Instead, the government steals money from you, gives it to me, and tries to induce me to buy a product that they want me to buy instead of what I want to buy. That's not an economy. That's theft. And the thieves need to be put in jail. I don't care whether they call it a congressional act or not. It's criminal if it does not abide by the United States Constitution, and the criminals need to be put in jail.
Why was it so important for you to make signs and protest here in this town?
Simply to get a message to Mr. Cradiville that this is not an angry mob. This is thoughtful citizens. I have no idea what insurance company or what political organization thinks about this or wants to do. I got here because I got an email from a friend that said, hey, they're having a meeting with Cradiville. If you want to talk to him, this is the place to be. I called Mr. Cradiville's office the other day. They didn't tell me that this meeting was taking place here today. So I heard this from someone else. So we need to communicate to these people that this is not some manipulated, angry mob. This is citizens. I have never done this sort of thing in my life. But I will be in Washington on September the 12th because it's that important to me. I see my country disappearing. I see our economy being destroyed, and I am not going to sit here and stand by for it and watch my children and my grandchildren suffer under those kind of actions. I'm going to try to save this country for them so they can enjoy the benefits of it that I enjoy.
There's so much anger people voting on this have not indeed read it. Have you read it?
I've read what has been made available to me, as certain people who have read it have sent out certain emails that give you page references and things like that. So what I have read of it, has Mr. Cradaville even read that? Apparently not. He keeps talking about that there's some good parts and some bad parts. The fact is, you take all the parts and they're unconstitutional. So people need to, the very first thing a legislator needs to do regarding any issue is look at the Constitution and see if it gives them the authority. People need to read it. It's not, this bill is over 1,000 pages. The Constitution is what, 4? Yeah, I think most Americans could read that and see that the Congress has enumerated powers, has limited authorities, and this violates all of them. They have to lie and make things up and perverse the English language in order to justify what they're doing.
It's disturbing to you that there has been effigy with Mr. Cradaville of him hanging with a noose, that this issue has arisen to that level? Or
is it something I do? No. Does it bother me that people exercise free speech and sometimes it's a little outlandish? That doesn't bother me at all. I heard George Bush called Hitler. I heard people say that Bush lied and people died. That sort of stuff happens both ways. It has nothing to do with the substance of the argument, and I will not be deterred because there's some people who are a little more outlandish in their speech than others. God bless them if they get this thing stopped.
What's your name again?
Gary Johnston.
From Bel Air?
Kingsville, Maryland.
Kingsville.
Yes, sir. Thank you.